Okay, so I think I'm going to title this video "Challenge Yourself," because that's pretty much what most of this is going to be about. At least in this case, what I'm doing, but I hope that I encourage others to do so as well. There is some music in the background. That's to drown out the traffic outside. So, anyhow, I'll give you a look at my terrible handwriting here. So, one of the things I wanted to do on this channel is, I've realized it's not really super entertaining. I guess because I like teaching. When I played Magic the Gathering, I enjoyed teaching new players how to play the game. Probably more than I did playing it, and I enjoy playing it. So, I'm not very good at holding a phone while painting, so I'm going to have to get some stuff for that. But point is, yeah, challenge yourself, which I guess that's a new challenge I didn't think about while I was writing these. Just kind of waffling off the top of my head first. But my point is, with all this waffling, is that I've set challenges for myself, and then I've slowly overcome some of them. But I've also wanted to be able to help others do the same thing, overcome challenges if they're facing similar ones as well. So I'm kind of just aiming this at my painting I'm working on, give you something to look at. So I got 4 things here specifically to cover. And this is with me personally, workout changes. So on top of the regular doing 100 push-ups that I do routinely every morning, I've now added 20 reps of 15-pound, I don't know if you can see them, there's one over here and one hidden over there underneath Lucifer's altar. So I use both of them at the same time, just, regular curls. But one of the things that I've done, sorry moving the camera around everywhere, is that on top of the morning routine, every time that I want to hit off the vape, sometimes I will let myself have one. I don't even want to show it on camera because I'm not trying to promote it. I'm trying to quit it. But not everything can be quit overnight. Or at least, in my case, and many others, things that you've been addicted to for more than 16 years isn't going to just go away overnight. Anyhow, every time I want to hit, I have to do at least 20. Now, I think I'm going to up that to 25 because they're starting to feel kind of light. But my point is that I've been doing that every day. Now, I'm going to show you more terrible handwriting here in a second. But I've pulled out my journal here. And I've been doing this since Saturday, February the 25th. I kind of started making some plans. And that's what you really need to do. Is you don't have to follow the same plan I made. But it is good to have a goal in mind. And then to at least, even if you miss, to set those goals up. Like no sugar, no bread. I've achieved that goal. Okay? Rice, beef, and eggs. This is all from, way back in February. And some of these I've actually managed to stick with. Even if you don't stick with them every day, or, at least try to have a goal and then try to follow that. So this is back from March the 1st is when one of my goals was to start writing in my activities, to try to write and journaling. Give me just a second here. Okay, yeah, I'm going to hit that here in a second. So, the point with this I was making first is that every time... give me a second. I started off with journaling. I skipped ahead a little bit. I got March 5th, where I started off just journaling my everyday stuff. It's not just going to show up because I got too many things in focus. But yeah, just keep track of what you're doing. You don't have to be judgmental on yourself. But it's good to keep track. In this case, if you're trying to quit something. And then I'm finding a spot here. Make my point with the whole vaping thing. So I guess it was sorry for the here we go. It was March 14th that I started keeping track of the days that because I was keeping track of this ahead 14th, 15th. That I started keeping track. This is what I did with the cigarettes. Remember on the other video where I'd quit cigarettes? Well, I kept track of, in a smaller journal, it had like a little handhold one. But, yeah, as you can see, I've kept track of every time that I wanted a hit, I'd take a hit. And then here, smoke, workout, right? Every time I did one, I did the other. So that's part of what I wanted to show with that, is that, and this is from months ago, so now, or not months, just last month. So now I'm April. It looks terrible because this is how often I've took a hit. 2 hits off the vape is 20 reps. Again, my point is with this is that when I run out, which won't be long, is that instead of just being in a habit of listening to music and having to take away all my favorite smoking songs, I think people that smoke have that as part of the problem, because then you got all this dead music that you love to listen to, and now it just reminds you of something. Well, now you can listen to that music and exercise with it instead. It's a trade-off. So all that waffling, what I'm trying to get to is that part of the challenge is to switch habits over. And quitting pot hasn't been easy, but I have been taking notes and been trying to do several things at once, I guess. That's health related. So, and I think I've been slowly succeeding in that. And I hope that maybe that helps somebody else. If you're trying to quit a habit, try replacing, do it in another habit that's healthy. And then when one, try to do less of one and more of the other. I think is what I was trying to get at. So, let's see here. I've already covered the diet that I mentioned in my notes earlier. I've kept to my diet and beef and apples, oranges and bananas, green tea and honey, no bread, no sugar. So that was all I was going to say with the diet part. 3, painting, which you can kind of see here. I've been trying to paint daily, at least 2 hours a day. Also continue to challenge myself to paint more difficult things. I'll explain the paintings here in a second. I've been feeling, this is kind of something I thought to add in. I don't know if it's necessary, but I've been feeling a sense of time wasting away when I play video games and not be painting. Like if I didn't paint at all, I feel like having something physical that shows that you are actually doing something raises your self-esteem. Like not just that, but also more than any accomplishment on the game can give. And it's easy to say that, but I think it's actually true. Like the effort that it takes to, from my flashlight here, I'm not carrying this light around everywhere. Okay, now I'm not going to go over this. Maybe on a different day I'll make a video. You can see I'm painting here. This is the last of Lucifer's, or 11 points of Luciferianism. I'm not going to get up and read it to you because I'll make a separate video where, like, how I use these every day to try to help out. And the third one's going to go right here. And it takes a lot more effort to paint letters than you might think. A lot time, I guess I should say. It's tedious. But I've wanted to do something like this for a long time, and every time I did it at my previous place, I was distracted. And like I said, it takes hours to just do one of these. But my point is, it's a challenge. You know, that's one thing I wanted to do. I set my mind, I wanted to have 11 points of Luciferianism painted over an altar, and then I set my mind to it. Same thing with this, for example. and I'll be quick about it because it's not done, so there's not enough to show. But this is a painting I'm currently working on for my neighbor. He's agreed. This is going to be my first sold painting. Next month he'll pay me $25, and then the other $25 the following month. So I'm going to sell this for $50. And show you a blank paper. That's helpful. I don't know if this is going to come up well, but this is the idea I had. And I'll show you what the woman's supposed to look like here in a second. But a woman in front of like the mountains and the full moon. So I have an image. And that's challenging for me. Like the mountains aren't really a challenge. I have a forest down here in a corner that you can't really see because I just sketched, there it goes, sketched it in lightly. But have an image. And then, you know, I'm not going to go through every single step because this isn't a painting video as far as like how to do paintings. But this is part of the image that's already shown up. Do the background first. Blah, blah, blah. Painting stuff. And I do actually have glow in the dark on the moon and some of the stuff. It's not going to show up on camera, so I'm not going to bother with that. And then, give me a second. Now I've done a painting of her before. If you look on my way earlier video, and I'll find a painting video and I'll put it up here. But this is what he wanted, so I'm going to use this image. I'm going to paint the steps all the way through. And have that center like I showed you. So it's a challenge because unlike the paintings that I've done last, I'll make this quick. This one doesn't really have a background. And then this one that does, which I actually really like this one. Most people don't say anything about it. I paint it for me, so I don't give a fuck. But I like the background. It's supposed to be kind of like dark flames and stuff. Problem is that and the moon looked really cool, but yeah, it's not very contrast. Like it all kind of blends together a little. So I'm trying to learn from my mistakes and trying to make a background that has contrast, and then but it won't take away from the image. I got some ideas to make that stand out. So like learn from your mistakes and try to make things better. Like challenge yourself. Like I started off with the video. So I'm just trying to show that's progress in its own thing. So it's not just dieting and working out, trying to quit stuff, but also challenge yourself mentally. Challenge yourself in things that you enjoy. So, see here where I'm at painting. And I guess back to my original point is that I could have spent the 6 hours I've spent on this painting, not all at one time, clearly, but I could have spent that playing my video game. I'm not dissing video games. They serve a purpose, and that's maybe a different video. But the 6 hours that I feel with this, and it's not even complete. My neighbor's happy with it. Happy with the progress. I don't know. It's just, even if I was giving it away, it means something because I've actually produced something from my mind. And I don't know, I think that if people did more things that produce stuff, that it would help them as well mentally. So I've already covered this partially. Number 4 was notes and journaling. So my goal is to journal daily and progress over the next few months. I want to track the changes over time and continue to quit bad habits and replace them with good ones. I'm not going to pull the journal back out since I already did that earlier. And my conclusion with the video would be my goal is to documenting this. The following videos is to help not just give good advice to people, but show that it works. And prove it. Like you say, well, prove that your advice works. And that's why I'm a little slow with videos. Some of the people that I watch regularly pop up videos, at least twice a week, minimum. And I'm like maybe once a month. That's because I'm actually working on shit that I say that I am. And I don't want to make a video unless I feel like I actually either have something tangible to say, or I have something to actually show when it comes like with this. So, and that's why I've waited so long, because I wanted to get something done. You know, I've managed to quit caffeine, I've managed to change my diet, and I managed to like up my scale on painting a little bit. So I have something to show for. I still got a long way to go, but that's why I'm a little slow with videos. I want to have evidence for what I talk about, even if I have to provide the evidence myself. So I'm going to leave it off with this, because this ended up being longer than I thought. Mind, body, and soul. And what I think with this. Mind. So this is kind of that balance deal. Mind would be learn new things as often as possible. So one of the folders that's been growing in my conservative Satanist profile on YouTube is my psychology. I don't know if I can. I will try to put a link to that on there. Definitely be willing to open at. You don't have to change your mind to every time someone produces new evidence, but be open to at least look at it. And I think that learning new things is important, or at least, have new information available. You don't have to believe everything just because you see something, have some insight. But yeah, don't just, do the same thing over and over. Body, yeah, the goal isn't to get fit, but stay fit. Obviously, you want to, if you're not healthy, you need to try to get healthy, but be healthy and exercise. That's common sense. And then soul, and I'm using that loosely to say, meaning of self. Find hobbies that speak to you and are productive. Like in my case, art, and hopefully I make better videos as far as quality. But do something that requires inner thought or reflection. So that's kind of the balance that I wanted to throw in there at the last second. Mind, body, and soul. Because even if you're an atheist or say something like that, well, I don't believe in the soul, well, you still have things that are of value with you that, if Uncle Jesus is watching, your little nature hikes, enjoy the hell out of them. Like that, in the music thing, for example. That's soul-like. So, use the word loosely. You don't have to, be all religious with it. Alright, I'll leave it at that. If you're still watching, thank you, and like and subscribe.